Alright then. Let's get going again. Please ignore this absolutely awful Polish Crimea. I have nothing to do with that. Don't blame me for any bleeding of eyes that may occur. No, so quit asking. You've asked at the beginning of last episode, or yeah, and at the beginning of this episode. Quit making a habit out of it, or I'll actually go and invade you on purpose instead of out of coincidence of you being in the alliance with one of my enemies. This place is still exploring. Wonder when they're going to be done. I do have to admit though, the amount of rural wealth here does mean that I'm actually have a little bit of interest in lowering autonomy via better transportation equipment, well, infrastructure, but maybe some other time. And apparently Tosa has enough urban population to actually start producing goods. So they have about 8,000 population or so. 7,500. Almost exactly. I'm off by about 71 people. Yeah. Okay, I can finally core it. Apparently I'm still the first one to be going through exploration ideas. Aren't they a minor country? I don't think it's so big. I'm talking about Hunter Wadi here. The Chimera are, well, yes, they are in their death throes at the start of the game, or at least the beginning of their death throes. It's not something that they can't turn around. They can easily turn it around. Majabahat's another story, though. Super decentralized and difficult to unite. It's like playing a Lithuania game, except worse. I think I should actually upgrade universities. Or build bigger universities, I should say. Actually, no, I think I'll upgrade the economical infrastructure of my capital. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Although I do believe I can definitely afford bigger, well, more advanced universities. At least when it comes to autonomy level. I mean, how much of an effect does it have? Double the effect of a regular university on unrest, and so Renown University has double the effect on unrest and monthly autonomy change. The world famous doubles autonomy change again, but only increases unrest by one more. It also makes the base of gravity a little over the top. So I don't actually have the population yet to build a corporation guild, which is why it's grayed out here. However, last time I checked, the population was around 49. Yep, it's 49.7 thousand. I need 50,000 urban population. The province is growing rapidly, or at least the city is growing rapidly. And I figure by the end of the year, or whenever the urban population next changes, I'll be able to build the corporation guild. At least the requirements will be fulfilled. Whether or not I have enough money can be another story, but it might be a good idea to actually begin preparations for war. I actually should go ahead and begin fabricating claims on Imagawa's territory over here. Okay, they have a lot of territory. Wow. I mean, sure, the province currently says is that it only costs 1,006, however, it's not taking into account the increase of costs just from urban infrastructure amounts. So while yes, I could afford it now, as soon as the building is constructed, I probably won't be able to afford it. That's done building, and I guess the modifier isn't updated yet. Oh well, let no good opportunity go to waste. Yet more civil wars, they seem a little depressingly common. Anyway, I wonder what the actual price would have been. Okay, it seems to not have changed. Guess there might be a bit of glitchiness going on there, so... I thought I'm misremembering the number, but I don't think that's the case. Revolt! Ignore them. What's the city doing on autonomy? Negative 10%. Okay, then it's probably a good idea to build a university here. I mean, it doesn't have quite the upper population of Phison, but unlike Phison, I will come. The autonomy is just not going to have any effect on me. Sure, there will be a bit more unrest, but I'm more or less fine when it comes to that. Heck, even if I were to build it now, nothing would happen. Introduce heir. Sure, that will give me a bit of prestige. Temperate. Nice. Certainly better than an embezzler. The embezzler is not that bad, but it gets basically cancels out the bonus from ethics, so... Time to burn some more prestige. Once again. Huh. Sanuki is now kinky culture instead of MEIOU culture. That's great news. Tail culture conversion is going on in other provinces. Wow, 59%. 72%. Yeah, cultural conversion is starting to speed up. Let's take a look at Bison. 97%. Video isn't even converting yet, I'll give it a year and then it'll start thanks to being adjacent to Sanuki. Alright, so what project should I work on now? I think it might be best to upgrade the fortifications here. Wasn't I working on some other project while I was... Yeah. Manpower. And I can't contribute any more manpower because it's already at 1. There's only 25% left. You can only do 75% with manpower. The rest has to be either done directly with your own treasury or with wealth from the province itself. And of course, convincing these people to part with their wealth might not be the easiest thing to do. I mean, it is called corvée labor. It is cheap and effective. So, Phison now has local fortification rank 1. Well, that's just great. I totally need more autonomy in this province. Kuzano also has local fortifications. Okay, I didn't have them before, so I'm not that annoyed by it. Is this all one big region? Yep, North Pacific. Boy, this is going to take years. In fact, I started in last episode. I'm not entirely sure when exactly I sent them out on the mission. I just hope that they come back by the end. So I can send them off to do something slightly more useful than chart the entire ocean. Or, well, chart the entire northern half of the ocean. Agent was discovered. Joy. Ah, it's finally done. Ah, iced over. Interesting. Right, let's finally get that coastline checked out. Although I'm sure for large portions of Siberia, the coastline is colonizable. Judging by this wasteland right here. Yeah, I'm gonna start losing innovators in this again. I'll probably begin to fall behind. Wonder how the institutions happen to be spreading. Oh, here's banking. Renaissance is going to take longer. It just reached the Ottomans. But banking has reached Persia and is starting to spread to Samarkand. Well, it's a combination of both trade and art centers. It's meritocracy spreading. Meritocracy. I don't think banking is going to reach India quite yet. Well, I can't wait till it spreads, because then some penalties are going to get a lot less overzealous. Oh right, I need to get a town hall here before I can build a university. Its current population, 46,000. Well, I do want to improve the education first and foremost, so... Yep, got 12 pot studying. Yep, the art center is There's another art center in Fiz now. Is there still not enough power? Examine intellectual data, 8.499. Right, examine intellectual data, 6.044. So yeah, I do have enough art power for a regional center. This I should have enough art power. There just doesn't seem to be one available. Maybe I should try to hit 10. Actually, it would be cheaper just to build a renowned university here. Yeah, I'll build a renowned university in my capital and then begin working towards getting a university in MEIOU. Soon I'll have a lot easier time getting new technologies. A lot easier of a time. But it's going to be a while before I can get to that point, so. I'll take the prestige. The corruption really doesn't matter. It's gonna go away in about 6 years anyways. And it hasn't actually explored anything in Siberia yet. The exploration fleet. It's probably doing the islands of the Pacific first. Because they're obviously much more useful for my interests. Obviously. I've already explored this. Pacific trade node. So there is a trade node in the Pacific. Yeah, and it's completely separate from the Australia trade node. It goes to the Koreas. Which means it's actually perfectly possible that I can. No problems with the trade node has been discovered. Where is the trade? Oh, it is actually possible that the Pacific trade node is down here and doesn't actually flow. Okay. That's... This is the South China Sea node. Okay, yeah, now that I think about it, that would probably build up a loop that really should not exist. Because the trade algorithms start to break down if, well, if you can build a loop, then you can pretty much use the bonuses from trade efficiency to build up an infinite amount of trade. Because it keeps going around in circles. It keeps applying again and again recursively. The thing is, because it's multiplicative, there's no actual limit, goes on to infinity. Which probably isn't a good idea in an economic simulation. And certainly not a good idea in a video game where you actually want things to be decently balanced. So yay for unintentional behavior. I guess someone's going to try to exploit it. Oh well. Oh well. Be slowly learning more about the Pacific. I don't actually know much about the trade node composition here. All I know is that there's actually a Pacific node instead of just a gigantic Australia node that's next to useless. like a distant base game. Really, Australia is more of an afterthought than anything. It wasn't even really colonized within the EU4 time frame. At least not until around the end. And it really was not important at all. And while yes, I will say that the Aborigines, for example, are pretty important, and in the early history of Australia, and they definitely had a hand in why a large portion of it is now desert. They really didn't do anything of great interest to world history during the EU4 time frame. That's not quite the same with the Polynesians. There is the Tonga Empire. No, yeah, the Empire of Tui Tonga. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Where they basically went out and subjugated the nearby islands. Or, well, I say nearby. If it weren't for the fact that there was so much ocean, I'd say that if the spaces between the islands they had subjugated were actually land and not water, I would say their size would be, well, bigger than China, for sure. I'm fine with us taking the prestige hit. Where are you now? The American West Coast. Well, it seems like a node ends here. Probably because... yeah, it goes to Manchuria. Seems like the node's here, so... as long as there's enough colonial range for it to check out the coast, I'll be able to assess the trade situation a little bit better. Yearly prestige, minus 0.00. Oh no, how am I ever going to recover? Okay, it's minus 0.01. How am I ever going to recover from that? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, there is the issue with the New University of some of those are going to turn into prestige slots, which aren't really going to do anything except generate culture and money, but... you know, what's wrong with a little bit of... okay, Tulsa. Where are they? Again? Oh. And the rest is gone. In fact, I think this is dropping innovativeness. I should actually start working on projects again. I should improve the road network here. It should improve the economy of the province. As well as make it so that the neighboring provinces have a little bit better communication efficiency if they don't have, well, communication support. And exploration continues, and dang it. I guess my culinary range just simply isn't far enough. Well, looks like I'm getting the northern coast of Manchuria, and I was right. A large portion of this is just uncolonized. And there's no minor Siberian tribes. It's part of the setup process to remove those, because they don't actually contribute much to the game. Especially not in M&T, where it's hardcore economic simulation. Right, native policy. So, 3 native policies that are present in both base game and here: native coexistence, native trading, and native repression. So they're actually all the same as they are in vanilla, with the exception of native repression. The global territorial increase is only 5. So it's not nearly as beneficial as I would have been. Wasteland, okay. Yeah, quite a lot of these islands are just wasteland. Okay, if I Apollo is pretty easy to click, so if I click on that, okay, I really am having difficulty trying to get something to work there. But well, Hawaii actually has its own country here. The thing is, well, and they're Hawaiian and they have the Atua face. Huh. They actually have their own country here. Although at this time they were actually quite disorganized and had multiple kingdoms, they actually had to unify themselves. Pearl Harbor. Alright, let me check the colonial range. It can show me where I can actually colonize at the moment. So I can't reach the Americas, however I can reach the entire Philippines, Taiwan, most of the Manchurian coastline. I can't go that far out. I can't reach the Aleutian Islands though I figure I will. I can do that actually pretty easily. There's Raleigh along, or well, Midway Island. Probably do native trading, since the benefit isn't actually that large with the send colonists. That I should check. Native uprising chance. Okay. I was just making sure on that. Because there are mods that can change that. The base value for that. Ah, you're finally done. I think I should actually pay my troops in full now that I have, you know, actual plans on building a colony. Sure, explore the entire South Pacific. What could possibly go wrong? Right, expect that to take another hour. Although I have to admit, in the game, the South Pacific isn't nearly as large as the North Pacific. It's still absurdly large, as you would expect for the Pacific, but not nearly as much. Oh. I think I picked the wrong province. Oh well. I do have 2 settlers, so... Yeah, because of this, I'm probably not actually going to participate in any warfare for a while. Oh well. Probably shouldn't build there. Probably has to do with autonomy level, actually. Anyway. Wheel-lock muskets. Alright, upgrade to reformed samurai cavalry. I'll pick that because all the cavalry are identical, so I might as well pick the one that's regionally thematic. Okay, let's send the infantry over. The reason why I built one was for each of them is because this one has 2 infantry and 2 cavalry. As soon as the infantry take a casualty, the cavalry will have insufficient support and take increased casualties. I don't want that. Besides, it gives me an excuse to upgrade my army again. And well, yes, I am now paying full price. And my basically my income has dropped by about 8 ducats. It's not bad. Colonies don't barely cost anything in maintenance, thankfully. And sure, it's increased army maintenance, but... It's really more of a means to an end than anything. Besides, a little bit of investment can go a long way. But apparently my advisors now cost 2 ducats per month. Yep, they do. I really can't wait until I get some stability back so I can start getting the nobles to let more people into the cabinet. Anyway, I have almost 7 million as my population. That's great. And in 2 years, yeah, 2 years I'll have gained back my first, well, gained back 1 stability. Hey, wait a second. Is that a straight crossing? It is. Oh, you can actually reach the Japanese Isles on land. It's gonna take 3 crossings to get to the main island, but it's still achievable without transport ships. Also, straight crossing to the Kuriles, and yeah. Now I suddenly wonder if England has a straight crossing too. If Russia will ever unify, it's gonna be under Yaroslavl. But money is dying as well. Are these all one connected wasteland? Because that is the only reason why I can't think of. That I can think of why I would know this. Ah, it's all wasteland. Over there too? Yeah, of course. How would you know this? You haven't even gotten that far. You're on a ship. That area is pretty much entirely inland. How would you have reached that point? Oh, Osaka. Okay, Setu. Reduce construction cost of trade power, or even a base amount of trade power, or a direct modifier of trade power. That construction cost benefit is minuscule compared to how much it costs to build these things. I don't plan on building a university anyway, and I've reached the limit on the direct economic buildings right here. It's gonna take until technology level 20, go up 22, Diplotech 22. I'm at 20, and 21 is the current level of the world. So, yeah. Might as well get this. Since I'm actually running advisors now, it makes good sense to do such. Oh, I found the Pacific node. One goes to Australia, the other somewhere else. Yeah, I still don't know. It's the Mexico equivalent, probably. And here, the American West Coast. So when I colonize, I can send all the trade over to Manchuria. Hopefully by then I have a stronger control of Manchuria, or at least a decent control over Manchuria. I mean, Korea pretty much controls all of the important trade provinces. Here, 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 and here. Well, okay, maybe not. There's this here. And that's about it. Oh, up there too. Or the river confluence. Yeah, local trader strengthen gives me the most benefit in trade power. Alright, so it's about time I've stopped, so... Right then. Let's actually merge these units together. There we go, now both won't get hit by insufficient support. And I can merge them back together later on. In the case of an actual war. Ashikaga is also building up their military, probably in response to me, if I'm being honest. Oh well. I still think I could take them on in a one-on-one fight. Especially once their infantry melt away to the point where their cavalry gets insufficient support as well. Examine intellectual data, 10.037, so... If there's a regional... I think there should be a regional one in Japan and in Korea. Yeah, Mongolia and Manchuria are their own subcontinents, separate from Japan and Korea. Subcontinent Siberia. Of which I can... So, the subcontinent Siberia, and Far Siberia. California, Castadio, the subcontinent Pacific Coast, etc. Of course, with the main issue with colonies is that they're not going to get much trade income since you're already siphoning half of their trade. And they have no starting infrastructure whatsoever. And they have almost zero population. You actually have to build it from scratch, the entire thing. So, oh well. I can talk about that later once I actually start colonizing. Which will mainly be restricted to wherever I can push trade towards me. which isn't very many nodes. Oh well. Until tomorrow, we will be changing back to EU4 or Franconia and the edited versions of these episodes, unless you are listening to the edited version, in which we'll be going back to M&T again. Oh well, whichever is the case, I'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Bye.